What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next little piece of our Interloper playthrough. So, I wanted to get people introduced to Interloper, and by no means am I the best person to play Interloper with. I'm alright at Interloper. I can basically last a while, but I tend to die. But I wanted to give you guys kind of an introduction to the basic core gameplay tenets of playing Interloper in the hopes that maybe it would help you get started before you graduate to much more advanced tactics. So anyways, here we are. We're inside of our we stayed the night here, I believe. It looks like we did. We stayed the night here at the top of the mountain. We're inside of our little power station at the moment. We are hungry, but we have full health. And so the conflict you would have right now is whether or not you eat food. And my answer to that question is no, you would not eat food right now. So just let yourself lose health for the rest of the day and don't really stress too much about it. You will regenerate about... Oh, I missed a metal container. Hello, metal container. What's inside of you? Nothing? There was nothing inside of you. That's it. I'm closing the microwave on your ass. I'm closing the microwave. Let's go see what the weather's looking like outside, because that's going to kind of dictate what our next course of action is as we play the game. And so if the weather turns out to be... Actually, the weather's not too terrible. It's bad. It's pretty miserable, but I don't think it's going to be, fatally awful. One thing we will want to watch out for, though, is bearskis out here. If there are bearskis around, I actually didn't mean to do that. Don't do that. I thought that was going to be a gradual incline right there, and I actually jumped off of it. Jumping off of things in this game is a terrible plan. Don't do it. If you jump off of things, you will eventually break your ankle. You will eventually become wounded by complete and total luck and happenstance. There's no real, rhyme or reason why it happens. Sometimes you'll just be walking along, and all of a sudden you'll break your legs. I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It just happens. But jumping off of things, I can almost guarantee you, increases that chance. So maybe stay away from the possibility of breaking your legs, if at all possible. Let's go ahead and swing back over to the left. And I'm actually going to go this way. I hope there's no bears over here. Is there a waterfall that way? I think there must be a waterfall that way. I can hear it. Let's really, really, really hope that there's no bears on this side. If there are bears over here right now, this is going to be kind of an interesting trip. Bears, are you over here?
Can't feel my hands.
Yeah, I know. It happens to the best of us, man. You're going to get a little chilly today. Our character doesn't have much choice. He's going to get a little chilly. Oh. I think I hear the sound of a bear. I did hear the sound of a bear. Well, you better climb, bro. You better climb. Alright, I think we're going around the long way. Well, I had to climb back up. That's kind of unfortunate because we just wasted a lot of energy getting back up to the top. I couldn't see the bear from right here, but I guess he's legit right underneath us. If he wants to come around the mountain, that's okay. I'm not against that. Oh, shit, he did come around. Alright, well, we finally gave him the slip. I kind of had to hang out on the rope until he unaggroed, but he was doing some weird bear stuff. And so I think he's just going to follow us around for a little bit. The downside to what just happened is that we wasted a bunch of time. So time is your principal resource when you're playing on Interloper. You really want to go out of your way to not waste time. If you waste time, bad things tend to happen. I'm going to grab some of those mushrooms on my way by. They're not incredibly useful, but we can make a tea out of them that I think is helpful with pain or something like that. I may need to warm up. We may have to go back to the farmhouse. I didn't want to. I wanted to do this all in one big swing, but we're kind of chilly right now. I don't know how we're looking on our hypothermia risk. Hypothermia risk, it's not too bad. I think we might actually be able to make it. I think we might be able to push through. I think I'm going to take a big risk right now. Now, risk-taking is not something that I would recommend on this difficulty, because risk-taking is putting you unnecessarily close to dying. The smart person right now would just go back to the farmhouse, which is right over there. They'd rest for an hour or two. They get their warmth back up. But, hey, I am not an intelligent man. So we're going to hit the road, and we're going to try and get the hell up out of here, because there's really not too much of a choice. I am a little bit worried about the way things are going to play out. There's going to be a cave at the end of this map, and I'm a little bit worried about the way things are going to play out down there. I really, really am, because truth be told, we don't have any light sources right now. And without a light source, that kind of leaves us in the dark while trying to navigate a cave. This is one of the downsides to spawning in this map, is if you don't get lucky and you don't find a lantern or anything like that, you may be traveling blind. I do have some matches, so in the worst case scenario, well, I've got a flare, actually. I've got a flare, so we'll make that work for us. I think the game is being generous with us right now. I think you might always start with a flare, actually. But if we didn't have a flare, we'd be completely and totally foobarred. Luckily, we do have that flare, so foobarred is not going to be one of those adjectives we would use to describe ourselves right now. Verbs, adjectives, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care. Let's keep on trucking. We do have ourselves a barn over here. This barn occasionally has good things inside of it, so I think we should probably stop off over there and have a look, too. There is the random one-shot chance that we may get attacked by wolves while we're out here. There are frequently wolves in this little field over here. Not on the road so much, so we should have fair warning if we see them. And then if we travel down the road a little bit further that way, there's going to be like a small hamlet, a village really, with a quickie mart across the street from it. And hopefully we'll be able to get some supplies there that'll get us started up. But yeah, you definitely want to loot this red barn over here. There's the good opportunity that you might end up with a lantern. You might get another flare. You might end up with some high-quality clothing. You may end up with, I think, a crowbar or a hacksaw can both spawn inside of there. And both of those are tools that you're going to want to have on the front end of the game. Right now, we haven't really picked up any manual tools like hammers or anything like that. And we're going to require those as our mission becomes a little bit more drastic. So, like, we're going to be... So, the goal for... Let me give you, like, a rough idea of what your goal is for Interloper. So, Interloper, you want to make it to a safe map. That's a good place to start, is you want to make it to a map where you can scavenge a little bit and you can get some better clothing. After you do that, you want to make sure that you're looking for tools, a hacksaw, a hammer, those sorts of things. Ooh, more matches. Nice. And those were lucky matches right there. Ah, there's our Wolfie boy. Okay, so we're going to need to go around him. He's eating a rabbit right now. So he shouldn't be too interested in us. After you get those tools, your next goal is going to be to find a forge. And after you find a forge, your job is going to be to create a bow and arrow and to create as many arrows as you possibly can. And then from there, you just hang out on the map and you subsist as best you can. Did he just aggro on us? He made an angry doggo noise. I think I'm just going to keep on running this way. He made an angry doggo noise, and honestly, I'm not that interested in finding out what that angry doggo noise entails. Oh, there's one right there, too. Unfortunate. Okay. We're going to have to get around this dude. Man, we just got issues on top of issues right now. They say that there's less wolves on Interloper mode, but I'm inclined not to agree with that assessment. There are a lot of wolves on Interloper. In fact, 100% of all my Interloper deaths have all been from wolves. I've never died from anything other than wolves on Interloper. I'll tell you that right now. It's pretty much all wolves all day long when it comes to the reasons why I died in Interloper. He's going to aggro, like, instantly when I jump out of here. But the door is right there, so we should be able to get inside. We should be able to get away from him. Okay, so we've got a lot of darkness in here. Now, your first inclination is probably going to be like, oh, we'll break out the matches or whatever. I need to be able to see. But I wouldn't highly recommend that. If you do that, you're wasting... We got cured leather right there. I'll take that. There should be a workbench over here. Can't really see. There's a note left behind. There's a drawer right there. Anything inside of it? A pry bar and a hook. There you go. Those are very, very useful. That pry bar right there, that's going to get us access to a lot of loot that we otherwise wouldn't be able to get to. Anything inside of here? Oh, inside the car, our temperature's gone up. I may actually be able to rest right here. Yeah, give us 2 hours. Warm up for a second. That'll also let our energy top up ever so slightly, because we do have a run in front of us. That'll heal our hypothermia risk as well, so even better. Nice. Okay, so that got our temperature back up ever so slightly. That'll give us a little bit more barometer to work with because as you may have noticed, our health is going down pretty quickly right now. Got a whetstone right there. Let me force this on open, see if we can find anything good. Nada. Let me see if there's anything in here. Nothing. Hey, a wool toque. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. Throw that on. That's actually one of the better headpieces in the game. If you can make proper use of it, which who wouldn't be able to? It's pretty easy. You just put it on your head. But anything inside of there, we got some charcoal. Okay. Be careful about falling through the holes in the floor. It's easier to do than it looks. Like if you're just not like paying attention or you're just like walking around. Occasionally you'll fall through the floor and then you'll break your leg or whatever when you hit the ground underneath. We didn't get that lucky inside of here. We got like some baseball caps and stuff, but really nothing that I'm crazy excited about. We may want to break one of those down for some tinder plugs. Might be helpful. There we go. So we've got some tinder plugs. I'm hoping that that wolf went right ahead and pissed off. But there's no promise that he may have done that. He may be out there and he may still be pissed off instead of, you know, pissing off. But I don't see him right now. We've got enough energy to make our run out here, so I'm going to start heading to the next village. So you're going to get to this road right here. You're going to take a left down that way, and hopefully it'll take you straight to the village. The goal for right now should be wolf avoidance, though. We really don't want to run into wolves. We don't want to run into trouble. We don't want to get into fisticuffs, fights, or anything of the sort. We just want to mind our damn business and be on our way. I don't have any rocks right now, but if I did, I'd keep an eye out for rabbits, too, because rabbits are an easy, accessible, available source of food. Hate to be a Debbie Downer, but we're freezing to death again. Tends to happen in this game. I mean, it is a pretty cold, frigid title. It's not a game where warmth is forthcoming a lot of the time. However, across that bridge right up there, you can see it off in the distance, kind of where the road turns to the left. That's where we're headed, and so we shouldn't be out in the cold for too much longer. Our health is a concern. I also don't know what our water supplies are looking like right now. We got a half a liter. That's not very much. Oh, I'm also... No wonder the wolves were so hostile. I'm carrying around a bunch of rabbit with me. Okay. I had forgotten that apparently at some point I had hunted rabbits. This is what happens when I only record like one of these videos a week. And so I forget the things that I've done. But I've got a pocket full of rabbit right now, which is good. That means we should be able to get fed up. Let's go ahead and hustle a little bit. We're going to be spending the night at the cabin down here anyway, so I don't really care if we bottom out our energy supply. I've always wished that they added a mechanic where, so if you've ever been out in the cold or whatever, you'll know that if you like get your heart rate up, you'll warm up pretty quickly if you're wearing clothing, even if it's really, really cold out. So I used to be a distance runner. I used to run 5 miles a day. Every single day I would run about 3 to 5 miles in there somewhere, depending on how I was feeling or what I felt like doing or how much time I had in between work and my other activities. And one thing I can tell you is even if it's down like really, really cold outside, once you get your blood flowing and you're like moving, you warm up pretty quickly. That's why even when it was really cold outside, when I would go for a run, I wouldn't wear like a jacket or anything else like that. I would just wear shorts and a t-shirt, is because once I got going, I would warm up anyways, and it didn't really matter. The only difference is I would wear earmuffs, though, because I got really cold, sensitive ears. My ears hurt really, really bad, like down inside of them when they get cold. And so, like, I had earmuffs, you know what I mean? Because, like, I gotta take care of my ear flaps. Just make sure that they don't freeze off the sides of my head. But other than the ear flaps, that was pretty much it.
Hope nobody needs
some nuts and stuff and some ragged jeans. Yeah, I'll take another pair of jeans. That sounds good. I think there's water inside one of the houses over here. If there's not, like, I can make that work. There is reclaimed wood laying around too, so I wouldn't leave that alone. That's going to be one of our big fire sources right there. That'll give us a good 30 minutes. I don't have a bedroll, so that's a bummer. I can't just sleep wherever I want. But maybe someday. Maybe someday. For now, however.
So cold. Just want to lay down for a bit.
Yeah, don't do that. Laying down when you're cold is a really bad plan. You start to feel sleepy, or even worse, you start to feel warm and sleepy. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's a mistake. That's a problem. That's not gonna work out for you, Chief. That's gonna backfire pretty big time. You probably ain't waking up from that one. We got a sewing book right there. I'll take that just in case I want to level up my sewing skills at one point or another. I actually don't read books too much in this game. I find that there's almost always something else you could be doing that's more valuable than reading a book in this game. A sewing kit. Okay, we already have one of those, but I'll take it. We got a cash register on this side. Cash register. Oh, painkillers. Really, we actually got something useful out of a cash register. Nice. There's a hot plate over there. What you got going on inside this? What you got going on inside of here? Come on. Hey, sport vest. There we go. I don't know if my space is all taken up, but that sport vest... Oh, never mind. We already have a sport vest on. I was hoping that we would have something internal, but oh well. We don't have an internal. We only have 2 external layers, so that's a problem. Hey, more matches, though. Definitely take that without a single complaint. That's the good stuff right there. That's the goody bits. All right, so we got to get to that house that's across the bridge, and that's where we're going to spend the night for right now. Getting out of this zone is complicated. So, like, if you die on your way in and out of this zone, don't stress about it too much. It happens, especially on Interloper. The Pleasant Valley start, I think, is one of the best starts, but if you're not experienced with the game, it may kill you. I mean, if you don't know the maps, like, I wouldn't even play Interloper until you've memorized all the maps. Like, that's a big part of playing Interloper, is knowing your way around and, like, knowing where to go. Oh, there's a wolf on the road over here. Okay.
I need to lay down.
That sort of changes things up on us, but alright. We're going to go around like so. Hopefully this wolf is dumb and he does not head us off. If he heads us off, we are completely and totally boned. The house is way over here. But since we got a wolf on our tail right now, I'm going to try and get in here and warm up. Hopefully this house has a water source. If this house doesn't have a water source, we got a problem on our hands. I think this one should. I think it should have a toilet back here, I think. Yep, we're good. All right, we got enough water for like one more day. One more day. One more time. And the good news about this is, as well, lots of cloth around. So I should be able to repair some of my clothing while we wait. We had to kind of take an early day today because of the weather. That's all right. Just make sure that you're optimizing and you're using your time intelligently when you're in the field, and you should be okay. We got a plaid shirt right there, which is actually a lot better than it sounds. Pretty solid shirt piece. On this side, we got anything good? I keep hoping we'll get like a ski parka or something. I'm not going to hold my breath on it, but it is a random spawn, and occasionally you do get one. Make sure you check the little nooks and crannies like that right there, because you can get them out of there. We actually have a bunch of daylight left, too. We find any dinner inside of here, pray tell? Nope, no dinner. So we find something edible, maybe. Hypothermia risk is healed, though, so that's good. Anything inside this rightward cabinet? What is that? Ooh, sardines. Yeah, almost missed those. Make sure you have a weather eye when you're playing this game. They like to hide loot all over the place. And, like, missing loot can actually kill you every now and again, where, like, all you need in the whole world is one nutty bar, but you just can't seem to find one. And it's like up underneath a microwave or something, you know what I mean? And we didn't actually get a lot of loot out of this place. A little bummed out by that. There's no fireplace either, which is kind of a bummerooski. I'm debating what I want to do right now. Like, because I do think we should probably cook some of this rabbit, but since this house doesn't have a fireplace as part of its set, it means we'd have to make the fire outside. But cooking up that rabbit, I think, would be a really good call before it goes bad. It's getting moldy right now. It should go back up to max quality once we cook it. But that would basically be enough calories to keep us going for another day and get a nice heal off. Let me see if there's anywhere that I can make a fire over here. I'm not going to promise miracles. We got cattail heads. We got books. Oh, I do have firewood. All right, well, I'll give it a go then. We'll give it a try. There is a trick that you can use right here. I can't do it right now. But anyways, if you make a torch, you can light a torch and you can use the torch as many times as you want to try to start a fire. Instead of trying to start a fire with a match and failing every single time and having to use a new match, you can save your matches by making a torch and lighting the torch with the match and then using the torch to light the fire over and over and over again. It can be really, really helpful for saving fire materials. Just something to keep in mind while you're playing the game. I'm hoping we don't get a directional shift on us right now when it comes to the wind. We're going to go ahead and add in all of this wood. That's going to do us the added favor. Oh, we're actually warming up right now. Nice. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want to do is we want to cook up some dinner. And so my suggestion would be we take some of that rabbit meat right there. And then we take some of that rabbit meat right there, and we're going to put that right up next to the fire. We got about 38 minutes to play around with. I don't know if that's enough time to repair any of my clothing, but if it is, it takes an hour to repair that. Not going to be good enough. What about you right here? Takes 30 minutes. Go ahead, repair it on up. Like I said, you want to optimize. You want to make sure you're using your time to the best of your ability when you play this game. We got both of our meats right there. Let's go ahead and we are going to drop that on the ground and drop that on the ground. And these two are going to get cooked up right now too. We got about 10 minutes that we can use that for. Not really much you can do in this game in 10 minutes, so maybe not. We can also boil off some water. I do have a cook pot right here. It's not going to be... So what I want to do is I want to use a can right here. Do I have another can, man? No, I don't. But we can melt some snow right there. Pass some time till it's ready. We can wait for it to boil. There you go. And we can give ourselves a little bit of an increased amount of goodies real fast for the road. We only got about an hour's left of fire right there. That's okay. Let's get back indoors. Feeling a little lethargic, but pretty solid use of our time right there. I probably personally wouldn't leave that fire burning out behind our wood cabin. But, you know, sometimes you take risks. Let's go ahead and eat some of this rabbit. Perfect. That has a twofold effect. On one hand, it gets a lot of the smell out of our inventory, so wolves will be a lot less interested in us. And then on the second hand, it also gets our hunger meter filled up. So 2 birds with 1 stone. Always a good plan in the long dark. We've got about 2 days worth of water left right now, depending on our expenditure and how much water we use. 2 liters, a little bit less than I would like to have. In general, you want to have about a gallon of water a day for survival. 2 liters, definitely less than that amount. Back when I used to do surveys and stuff in the desert, 2 gallons of water a day was what I would carry in my pack. And while the additive weight was bullshit and it sucked, having to hike with 2 gallons of water in your backpack, I guarantee you, right about 1 o'clock, you'd be done with the first gallon, and you wouldn't be too happy. So I'd recommend definitely carrying 2 gallons. We failed that repair right there. Bit of a bummer. Succeeded on the second one though. Yeah, so that's got that up to 92% now. That guy's sitting at 98. That dude's at 55. We're getting closer. Our warmth bonus is not amazing right now, but it's better than where it was. For the moment, I don't really think there's too much more to do aside from sleep for the night. So that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and do. We'll wake up when we become dehydrated, so don't worry about that too much. This game, unfortunately, you get dehydrated so quickly that you have to, like, drink water in the middle of the night. Not how it works in real life, but it's one of those, like, middle ground factors with Long Dark that they've never seemed to be able to sort out. Almost morning. That's okay. Let's sleep for a few more hours. We didn't get that much health back, but then again, I think our health was kind of low anyway, so We're going to be pretty hungry today. We're not going to have too many ways around that. If you were trying to augment, so what I could have done to be even more effective is I could have made herbal tea. Sleepy time tea makes you get double healing during the night, and so we would have healed it to full if I had made that, but I don't think about smart things. I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on by. This is The Long Dark, our little Interloper playthrough that I'm doing for fun on the side here at the channel. I hope you're enjoying it. Leave a like on the video if you are. This is how to Interloper with Splattercat. I'll see you later. How you doing, everybody?